Ladies and gentlemen, back by popular demand, this is the spring 2026 edition of Japanese Anime Ranking. Yes, the results are in, we're nearing the end of the season, and thus it's time to answer the most important question you're all asking yourself. Is your favorite anime even popular in Japan? For those new here, this is a seasonal video series where we look at the available charts out of Japan, gather the data together, compile it all into a sheet, which is a very long and tedious process, and then compare them to Western charts. Because everyone knows, yes, Japan has better taste than we do. Before we get started, the usual disclaimers. These rankings are based on different sites more geared towards Japanese viewership. This can be through streaming sites, Japanese television ranking aggregators, and whatnot. All data is taken at the day of recording and thus can fluctuate based on episodes airing, availability, exclusivities, early airing dates, etc. This data is not end-all be-all. It doesn't say your favorite anime sucks, even though we joke about it. It's simply an interesting way to analyze interest in certain series, and honestly gives us a good perspective on the success of certain properties, because, yes, despite how well a show does in the West, in a lot of cases for a lot of producers, all that matters is how many viewerships they get in Japan. With disclaimers out of the way that a lot of people are just going to disregard, let's just jump right into it, starting things off with how well things are doing in the West using My Anime List. Now yes, My Anime List is not a conglomeration of all anime fans, but it is a very large size pool that we can kind of get a sense of sort of what people have interest in. And yes, kicking things off, we have number 10, The Angel Next Door Spoils Me Rotten. That show is still going strong. I personally let go of that series like 4 episodes into the first season. The writing just felt weird to me, but people are loving it. I understand why people love it. Like, the main girl is way super cute, and yes, I would let her spoil me rotten, but it is what it is. At number 10, Angel Next Door. At number 9, I was actually surprised this wasn't higher because I felt like there was a lot of people really enjoying Marriage Toxin. But apparently not doing as well as a lot of the stuff we're going to get into in a minute, but very, very interesting there. Number 8, I Made Friends with the Second Prettiest Girl in Class. That one's, again, more surprising. That's higher than Marriage Toxin, but I think people are kind of just enjoying that as a really solid rom-com. I've been enjoying it as well, so I kind of get the hype there. Going on to number 7, we have Dr. Stone, Science Future Part 3. I think the previous seasons of that has been much higher, so I'm guessing just because we have a pretty strong season of like returners and whatnot, that's the only reason that's not getting higher. But anyways, number 6, Wistoria, Wand and Sword, Season 2. That one, I'm not too surprised it's that high, but at the same time, I think it's surprising how much better it's doing than like Danmachi, which of course is the other series by that creator. It feels like it's probably a lot to do with the fact that they're keeping the quality up, like visually and whatnot, that has been really solid. It's much more shonen-y, I think, than Danmachi is as well, so that's probably a lot of the appeal too. It's a lot more action scenes, it's less harem-y, and I think a lot of people, a broader audience, really do enjoy it for that reason. But either way, number 5, another one that I'm surprised is not higher, but at the same time, I think it has been bumping up quite a bit over the season's period, and that is Demons of the Shadow Realm. I think early on this was much lower, and it was kind of surprising to me because of the creator of Fullmetal Alchemist. Obviously, on the website itself, My Anime List, for the longest time, the number 1 anime of all time was Fullmetal Alchemist. So it's like, you would think that everybody would be flocking to their next creation or the next adaptation, but again, not doing as well as I imagine it would be, but it is slowly kind of bumping up. But that sort of leads to the big 4 that is obviously taking over the season, which starts off with number 4, Tensura. Tensura Season 4 is doing really, really well. That series is still holding really strong. More so surprising to me, which is a personal thing for me, is just how well Classroom of the Elite is doing. At number 3, Classroom of the Elite Season 4, it is still holding strong. That is one of those series that whenever I talk to people about it, because I dropped it a long time ago, something felt off about the series. It just wasn't working for me. And I heard so many people saying that it's not a good adaptation, that you should just read it. Of course, you get that with every single series. Let's be perfectly honest. Like, there's not a single series that I watch where somebody's like, oh my gosh, this is a great adaptation. I love the source material, and they're doing so good with it. No, they're skipping this. They botched this part. This is not even in the actual novel series. It's completely original. Classroom of the Elite, it was one of those ones where no matter who I talked about, they all hated the adaptation. So I'm like, I'll just read it. But it's still doing strong. There's still a lot of people that are anime only, apparently, that's really liking it. So good on them. Number 2, love to see it, rezero Season 4. Love to see rezero Season 4. Now, I honestly, personally, think it should be number 1, but I understand why 1 is what it is. I'm happy to see that rezero at least is number 2 on the rankings, which, yes, leads us into number 1 in global rankings on My Anime List, which is, yes, without a doubt, Witch Had to Tell You. Witch Had to Tell You is absolutely sweeping the industry right now. Everybody's absolutely loving it. There's some people claim that it's an industry plant, which I guess apparently they can buy mal numbers. No, the jokes aside, I think the series has been doing really excellent. It's got a very broad appeal to it. It's a very simple type of storyline. It's very straight to the point. It looks incredible. The directing is on point. Everything lines up for this being something that's going to appeal to a lot of people. And that's why you see it so high. Like, there's not anybody on whatever side of the field that's not going to enjoy something about this show. So that obviously explains why it's so high. But with that said, that is the global charts. That's the Westerners. Gross. We all know what's popular over here. Let's get into what's popular in Japan. Kicking things off, we're going to look at Abema. Now, Abema, why I like Abema as sort of a source of what is sort of going well in Japan is because, one, most everything anime-wise in a season is on the platform. Whether it's going to be like exclusivities, early access, later access, whatever. It has a lot of shows on there. Plus, additionally, they have viewership counts. A lot of these sites you'll look at, they'll say what is doing well, but they don't show you what's doing well. And so this is one of the very few sites that I can go to every single show, which is a very tedious process, and actually pull the viewership counts from the website itself and put it into a list. And I go based on about 6 episodes. I'll take a 6-episode count of viewership, and then I'll kind of compare them to each other. So let's get right into it. First things first, number 10. The beginning after the end. The beginning after the end is still doing well. Oh, the beginning after the end, season 2. Somebody over there in Japan is still watching it. So good on them. I'm curious if the season 2's looking better at least. I haven't even touched it. Like, I got like halfway through the first season. I'm like, I'm good. I've got my taste of this like really low budget, like very poorly timed adaptation. You all enjoy it. But yeah, they're still doing good. Number 9, Kusunoki's Garden of Gods. That one doesn't surprise me too much. I know Japan, especially like on certain services, they really do enjoy these kind of unwind, relax, spirit stories type of show. Yokais, and Natsumi's Book of Friends. They like those types of stories, so it doesn't surprise me too much this one's doing well. I enjoyed the episodes I watched of it, so that's good there. Number 8. I'm sad this isn't higher, and I'm actually very surprised it's not higher, because this is like one of those big Shonen Jump titles that I think they had a lot of expectations for. Akane Banashi. Number 8, Akane Banashi. Now, there's 2 things here that I want to note. One is the fact that I'm surprised that it's so low for what it is, but 2, my gosh, what a dip. This is like the biggest shock out of everything in this entire list, because typically when I'm, again, taking all these episodes to viewership counts and putting them into a chart, what I'll often see is that the first episode does really well for a lot of shows. Then the second episode typically has like a 50% drop typically, like an average 50% drop in viewerships, and then it kind of stabilizes after that. With this show, it went from 800,000 viewership on the first episode to 200,000. That's down like 75%. And that's an incredible drop. So I'm not sure if potentially like maybe they had an exclusivity for the first episode, and after that, they were behind everything else or something like that. There is some rankings of it on TV networks, but that's a big shocker there. And again, with how much kind of hype was behind it, I kind of expect to be doing better. But let's move on. Number 7, Tensura, Season 4. Still doing really good on Abema. Again, kind of more surprising of how well it's doing in the West, how low it is over here, but it's to be expected. Number 6, Wistoria, Wand and Sword, Season 2, doing really well on this platform as well. And again, number 5, just like in the West, Classroom of the Elite, still doing very, very well for Japan as well. Doing very, very well. Moving on to number 4, we have Demons of the Shadow Realm. That's kind of, again, another one that's kind of surprising that it's not higher, especially what we have above it. But still, I guess overall, again, for an entire platform, number 4 is really, really well. But number 3, I think, is probably the biggest shock that's going to have for people in the West. There's always got to be that one title that we're like, wait, that's doing well over Japan? The Strongest Job is apparently not the hero or the sage. It is the appraiser. Yes, number 3 on Abema, the top 3, number 3 is The Strongest Job. There's always one of those titles. There's always one of those shows in Japan that just does very, very well. It's an escapism type of show. It's a getaway, have fun, goofy stuff that's happening, that type of show. I watched quite a bit of it. It's one of those types of shows. It's like one of those types of shows, whatever. But if they're enjoying it, they're enjoying it. Moving on, number 2 on Abema, we have Witch Hat Atelier. So that's like rezero and Witch Hat Atelier like is just fighting against each other. Over in the West, it looks like, you know, Witch Hat Atelier has a little bit of a jump there, but right here it's just underneath there. Again, really amazing series, doing very, very well. Hats off to them. This is a lot of promise right here that with it doing well in Japan and over in the West, that means that hopefully, you know, season 2 is coming. I have no doubt season 2 is coming. It's going to take a while, but I have no doubt that we're going to get a season 2. But that said, number 1 on Abema, topping the charts in Japan, rezero season 4. Gotta love to see it. For all the rezero fans out there like myself, gotta love to see it. And I think that's a lot to do with the fact that this season has been pretty damn hype. Especially these recent episodes have been crazy. And I think people are enjoying it. Maybe even some people watching multiple times. I don't know. But it's doing very, very well. Good to see that. Number 1 on Abema, rezero season 4. Moving on to our next platform that I kind of trust the numbers here a lot more than a lot of other sites, and that is Netflix. Now, Netflix, what they have on their website is every single week they have a top 10 chart. And I'll go there and I'll look at multiple weeks on the actual charts during the season, and I will take, based on their placement on the actual chart, I'll give them a weighted value. Typically, like if it's number 1, I'm going to give it, 10 points. If it's number 10 on the chart, I'm going to give it 1 point. So on and so forth. And then I kind of combine all those numbers and find out who comes out on top, who's been higher on most weeks or whatever. Starting things off with number 6, because I don't really have any much else than that. Starting things off with number 6, we had, Classroom of the Elite, popped up on there a couple times, got some pretty good scoring on there, so that was up there for a while. Number 5, this is really, really, I was hoping to find this somewhere in the Japanese charts. I was hoping it was going to do well in Japan, so that I can at least go, okay, at least it's doing well over there. Ramparts of Ice. Yes, Ramparts of Ice actually doing decently well on Netflix. It charted up there a couple times. I'm happy to see it. So that's good. Number 4, again, similar to Abema. rezero is doing very strong over on Netflix as well, charting on there quite a bit. Then we have number 3, again, Witch Hat Atelier, doing very, very strong on the platform. Number 2, Demons of the Shadow Realm, doing very well on the platform. And then number 1, big shocker here, number 1, Tensura Season 4. Now here's the crazy thing here. Other than the fact that it's kind of shocking to see that Tensura, of all titles in its 4th season, is doing the better out of everything on this entire list. But it's more shocking the fact that Tensura Season 4 and Demons of the Shadow Realm are so above and beyond higher in points in my scoring than everything else. Witch Hat Atelier had 12 points total, and Demons of the Shadow Realm had 38. Tensura had 40. So again, that massive difference there. They were charting a lot, obviously, but either way, really cool stuff there. But again, I think the big surprise here and the joy here was definitely seeing Ramparts of Ice on there a couple times, because that one was kind of hiding for a while, especially with Abema and stuff like that. Abema, I didn't even have it charting on Abema, so it must have been really low or not even on the platform. But moving on from streaming, let's move on to TV rankings. I have 2 different services that does TV ranking aggregation, and that's Demora and Video Research in Kanto. The first one, Demora, we have at number 10, Snowball Earth. Yes, that one's doing well in Demora. The first time seeing that show, it's doing well somewhere, I guess. Somebody's enjoying it. I wasn't a big fan of it. I didn't really like especially the tonal shifts and whatnot, but I'm glad some people are enjoying it. Number 9, Marriage Toxin, doing well on that platform as well. Number 8, Classroom of Black Cat and a Witch. It's the first time seeing that one. That one's out of nowhere. Sure, there you go. Number 7, another one, Farming Life, Another World. That one's doing well in Demora. Another one that I kind of fell off on the first season, but I'm glad people are enjoying it. It's a nice escapism type of show. Number 6, Kill Blue. That one's probably one of the bigger shocks out of everything of this entire season. I thought Kill Blue would do a lot better. Kill Blue is similar to Marriage Toxin. I thought those two would be doing very well, but apparently not Kill Blue. Not Kill Blue, despite being, I think, a Shonen Jump title as well. Not doing that great. Number 5, Mao. 6 on Demora is good. Don't get me wrong, but it's not as much as I would expect it. Number 5, Mao. That one's the first time we're seeing that one. I think that particular author, a lot of their stuff is not doing as well as the previous stuff. I think a lot of people are kind of getting that Rumiko Takahashi fatigue. The Rumiko Takahashi fatigue. But anyway, number 4, Demons Shadow Realms, once again doing very, very well. Number 3, Ramparts of Ice, again, similar to Netflix. Glad to see it doing very well on Demora as well, despite not being like on Abema and whatnot. Number 2, Kani Banashi. Again, another really happy to see that there. Really good to see that one doing very well on at least Demora. And then number 1, it's like across the entire board, like all the charts. Tensura season 4. Tensura is doing very, very well. I think that's like probably one of the biggest shocks out of everything, is just seeing how these big heavy hitters are just kind of charting across the board. And then we have our last platform that we're going to look at, and that is Video Research and Kanto. They have pretty much most all like your family shows and whatnot that are always charting on there, like One Piece, Detective Conan, Sazai-san, Chibi Maruko-chan. But there's one title on there that is a seasonal that had me extremely excited to see it there, because I wasn't seeing it anywhere else really. And that is, yes, at number 4, right underneath the big 3, which is Sazai-san, Chibi Maruko-chan, and Detective Conan. Those ones are like insane numbers. And then it drops like crazy after that. Right underneath them, A Sentence of a Bookworm season 4. Yes, my girl, mine, she over here just topping the charts on that platform at least. Glad to see it. I'm just extremely glad to see it, because again, I wasn't seeing it elsewhere. I think of all of them, like I have like one show every single season where I'm like, I'm trying to hopefully find somewhere in Japanese chart that is doing well there, because it's not doing well in the West. And that was the one. And to finally see it there, I was like, thank you, Japan. Thank you, Japan. I know that A Sentence of Bookworm in general is extremely popular in Japan. Like the novel series did do really, really well all the way until its completion. So I'm happy to see at least the anime itself still holding strong there. So that all said, that is it. I'm not going to be looking at Amazon. I know I've had Amazon in my chartings before. That's because the numbers are just kind of whack. Every single time I do Amazon, it's like pulling a bunch of numbers that just aren't really that strong. The numbers themselves don't tell you enough. And I don't want to use their own made ranking page, because it shifts so much. It's typically a trending, not necessarily a ranking. So I won't be doing Amazon, but that is the numbers. That is the numbers. But now that we've seen the numbers, what is the biggest shocks, joys, and disappointments? Let me know in the comments down below. For me personally, my biggest joy obviously is A Sentence of Bookworm. I was really sad to see that over in the West, it's like number 16 on Mal. It has fallen off so much, unfortunately, for at least, again, Mal users and that group of people. And it gives me a fear that overall this series is not doing as well in the West as it was before. But either way, I'm happy to see that it's on at least TV rankings. The biggest interesting differences, I think, overall between the West and Japan is probably Akane Banashi. Over in the West, at least on Mal, Akane Banashi's like, it's not even ranking. Like, it's not even on my top 20 that I have listed here. It's just not doing well, which is, again, very shocking, because that's a property that I would think would have like a lot behind it. Like this, again, is like a big Shonen Jump type of title. They would probably want to push it. Based on production quality, it looks really, really good. I think a lot of that is probably due to the fact that Netflix themselves kept it held on for so long. They wanted to hold on to it and do the dubbing, similar to what they've done with, Fragrant Flower Blooms. And that has probably killed a lot of hype. But you would think that a lot of people would still have it at least add in their memberships before they found out that they were going to be holding on to it. But either way, again, that's kind of a shock there to see that big difference there. Ramparts of Ice, again, it's a similar situation. It's surprising to see how, not great it's doing over in the West. It's still 11, but it's not like way up in the numbers. Whereas in Japan, at least, thankfully, it's kind of doing well over there. I think one of my probably biggest upset, I think, overall is the fact that Agents of the Four Seasons is not doing well on either side. That's another one that's like way down at 20 on Mal. And in Japan, it's just like where I don't think it has any sort of exclusivities, but that could be the problem there. I'm not going to look at every single show and look at when everything is airing and when it's going to be delayed or whatever. That would take way too long to put all that information together, and it wouldn't really serve people that much. But it is interesting to see that that's not doing well, even in Japan. I was at first going to be very upset that Nippon Sangoku wasn't charting very well on streaming services in Japan, but then I found out that it was exclusive to Amazon JP. And when you look there on the platform, it's doing very, very well. Like, it's got over 1,000 rankings on it already, and it's got like a 4.4. But I think overall, I think this is probably one of the most kind of mirroring seasons that we've seen in a long time. The fact that, like, at least your top, like, 5 shows in the West is doing really well on most all the platforms in Japan. Like, ReZero, Tensura, Witch Hat Atelier, Classroom of the Elite, Demons of the Shadow Realm. Those, like, 5 right there are pretty much top in the chart, which is kind of very, at the same time, a little bit scary for the industry itself, because when you see like these big heavy hitters topping the charts across multiple platforms, it shows you that the entire, like, you don't have sort of like differences in, you know, groups of people that are consuming different things. Everybody's consuming the same stuff. So everything is sort of, all the viewership is kind of flowing into one location, and thus all the other stuff kind of dies. But it's still doing well. I think across the board with the viewership, things are very healthy, but that's the numbers. Them's the numbers. You can't fight the numbers. But again, keep in mind, this is all based on different platforms, exclusivities, aggregation that fluctuate on a regular basis. But that all said, I hope you guys enjoyed this information. Hope you found it informative. If you did, hit the like button down below. But until next time, until next season for your next, is your favorite anime popular in Japan? Y'all take care.